Well, hello, everybody. Happy Monday out there in social media world, whatever platform you may be watching on today. My name is Shannon Hawkins. I'm here with the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber, our regular Monday webinar series. So grab your snack lunch and a little beverage and join us for today, a great conversation. If you are a small business owner, you need to be on watching. I recommend that you share this with every one of the small business owners you know out in the community, because today we're going to address the needs of small business through small business resources and so much more. So excited to introduce the panel. But before we do, I want to say thank you, as always, to our partner, the City of Albuquerque, and of course, the Mayor's Office. This initiative over the next 6 weeks is really about sharing with you, the community and the small business owners, the different departments within the city and how they function to help you. And so today is the day. Today is Small Business Day. So I can't say that enough. We're also in partnership with the city on the Choose One campaign. I know that many of you see the commercials around, and of course, been to the website. We had a whole webinar on it. But we just want to remind you that when it comes to the city of Albuquerque and the citizens within the city of Albuquerque, it takes all of us in this economic recovery time, COVID, as we move into post-COVID. And it's always great to do something within the community, whether it's volunteer for the city, or whether it's reach out if you're looking for a job, get on the job boards with the city and find out where they're hiring, what departments are hiring. And that's the purpose of these webinars, is to share with you all the different departments and what they do, because I've been blown away every day, completely surprised. I walk away with, did you know, did you know? So today we want to make sure you get the same feeling. So we're going to start just by introducing the panel, and I'm just going to go in the order as everybody is on my screen. If you could tell us who you are and what department you're with and what your title is. So we're going to start with Monica.
Good afternoon, everyone. Monica Mitchell. I'm the Senior Economic Developer, and I'm in the Economic Development Department. Glad to be here.
Welcome, Monica. Thank you so much for your partnership with inside the Economic Development Department. We appreciate everything you do. Mr. Ernie Sidabaca.
Well, thank you, Shannon. And I'm senior too, but that's just because of the color of my hair. So I am president and CEO of the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce. And if you were to look at our mission statement, economic development and economic opportunities are prominent in the mission statement. So every day is Small Business Day, Shannon, every day.
It is. That's a great, I'm going to use that. Today is Small Business Day, every day. I'm going to say that. It's awesome. Mark, you are next.
Thank you. I'm Mark Zintek. I'm the Workforce Development Liaison, and I'm also in the city's Economic Development Department.
Welcome, Mark. Nice to have you. David.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is David Sayers. I am the manager for the Small Business Office for the City of Albuquerque. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, David. And we have to chat, because I think a lot of people out there don't know your little office exists. I'm excited to share with them all about what you do. Gabby.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Gabriela Marquez. I'm the director for the Minority Business Development Agency Business Center, located at the Hispano Chamber. So thanks for having us.
We are lucky to have you. Thank you so much, Gabby. We've enjoyed the last little bit with MBDA, and I can't wait to talk more about that. So today, want to say thank you to Stacy, who's behind the scenes, who assembled this great cast and has been working with us the last month or so to pull all this together. And of course, Angelique, who is the technical behind the scenes here. But I want to say that this was one of the best. When she sent it out, I was like, wow, that's a great cast of what do small businesses need to know about the city, and how can they interact with the city, and what does this department and these departments have to do with sharing what they do with small businesses. So I'd like to kick it off with Monica. Monica, if you could tell us a little bit about the mission of the Economic Development Department, and a little bit about the department, the structure, the key players. What do we need to know if we're the outside learning for the first time about this department?
Sure. Happy to explain that a little bit. So the Economic Development Department's mission as a whole is to create a more diverse and equitable economy that works for everyone by growing and retaining local businesses and jobs, by eliminating barriers to underserved communities, and by recruiting businesses in our key industries, increasing Albuquerque's competitiveness in the global market, and by fostering a healthful built environment. And so when it comes to, you know, our small business office, which David runs, he's out there every day eliminating barriers and helping our small business community thrive. And that also goes for Gabby and for Mark. And I can kind of let each one of them kind of explain a little bit more in depth what each of them do. So it might be a good time for each one of them to talk a little bit more about their offices.
So I think you're right, Monica. It'll help us kind of set the tone and how they all kind of work together within economic development. So Mark, let's move to you next.
Sure, thank you, Monica. So as I mentioned, I'm the workforce development liaison within the city's department. And one of the main programs that I focus on is Job Train Albuquerque. And this has direct implication for small businesses here. So for those of you who don't know, Job Train Albuquerque is a partnership between the city of Albuquerque, CNM, and CNM Ingenuity. And to put it most simply, JTA is a job creation program intended to help match small businesses with labor market skills. And we provide trainings for free for small businesses in Albuquerque. And this is really, we can think of it as an Albuquerque type JTIP. So some of you might be familiar with JTIP. And this is really a program to complement that statewide program, but just for Albuquerque small businesses. So if you have a business that's 500 employees or fewer, headquartered in Albuquerque, if you've lived in Albuquerque for at least a year or your business has been in operation for at least a year, you can really take part in this program. And I'll let others speak, but I'm happy to dive into JTA more as we talk later. But you know, another focus that I have is also on the early childhood education piece through a Kellogg grant that we're working through, and we're working to help lower income individuals get job training and employment in Albuquerque's early childhood industry, which we have seen as essential during the pandemic. So that's my 30,000 foot pitch there.
Great. And didn't even know about that program, the early childhood education. So we'll have to talk more about that because that really does set the tone for how we grow in a community when we start at that age. So very important. David, we'd love to have you jump in and tell us about your office.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So the Small Business Office was founded in September 2019. And ever since then, the whole mission of the office is to kind of provide as a first touch resource for small businesses and entrepreneurs. The office is a vital key component to help businesses navigate city systems, to navigate procurement processes if they're looking to become a vendor with the city, and also everything in between. So anywhere between funding opportunities, grants, business registrations, pros and cons of LLC registrations. We kind of service a lot of those inquiries and try to help set up businesses and entrepreneurs for success. So it is currently, and we're excited for the reopening, especially once COVID starts releasing kind of the pressure it's been putting on businesses. I've heard a lot from businesses, and I just want to make sure that entrepreneurs and businesses are aware of the Small Business Office, because that's what we're here for. We want to make sure our small business community thrives. It's just so vital for Albuquerque. And yeah, I'll go into more detail shortly, but thank you so much.
Well, you're right, David. Right now, more than ever, small businesses need that recovery. So can't wait to dig deeper into your office. And Gabriella, definitely an office that is much needed here right now. What a great way to work on economic recovery with your office. Please share with us.
Sure. So the Minority Business Development Agency, we reopened doors December 2020. Some of you might be familiar with the MBDA Business Center many years ago, and the city was awarded funds to reopen, which we are very lucky to have present in the community again. And just to be clear, so although we are operated by the city of Albuquerque, we actually can work with minority-owned businesses anywhere in the state and actually beyond. So a little bit of our focus is supporting minority-owned businesses. So that's 51% or more owned by a minority. Unfortunately, that does not include women that are non-minority ethnically. I get a lot of that question, so I'll just put it out there. And we support businesses with access to capital, access to new markets, access to contracts, and of course, a lot of capacity development with the many workshops and seminars that we're having. And I can talk more in depth in a minute. So that's the big picture of what our center does.
Thank you, Gabby. And yes, we're excited about that. It is housed obviously here at the Chamber campus. And as we begin to reopen, can't wait to see those businesses coming through the doors because they need to know that your office exists, and it exists to help them and really to help us guide them through the process of federal procurement. And it's just like I said, a really great way to really help restore the economic platform we have here in our city. So there is so much to talk about and kind of break these down. Now, Monica, you have a very specific job, I know, within economic development. However, I get so many emails with so many different initiatives. You work in so many different areas, but what really is specifically an important part of the department for small businesses? And I know that maybe if we explain a little bit, you know, a lot of times with economic development, we're bringing people in or bringing businesses in to help develop here in our community, but we also have small businesses here inside our community. So let's talk about that a little bit.
So talking about, Shannon, specifically what we do for small businesses. Okay, and I think that I want to let David shine on that one a little bit more, because we kind of divvied up our questions, and I want David to take that one just to give him a chance to shine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Monica. The Small Business Office, and what we do is really listen to businesses' needs. The Small Business Office acts as kind of a advocacy office to try to learn what the business needs are and how we're able to meet those needs or direct them to appropriate resources, or we can also service a lot of these requests in-house. So like I mentioned before, we really try to provide opportunities. One of the things we do is try to provide opportunities to businesses to contract with the city. A lot of businesses don't know what that process looks like. And so we help set them up through our procurement process, through Bonfire. We walk them through and instruct them on how to be a successful bidder on some of these contracts, for example. Additionally, we work closely with a lot of departments like the planning department, where if a business doesn't know who to contact to register their business, I try to provide that connection and make sure they're getting the appropriate documentation, make sure they have the appropriate information, again, to set them up for success. So it is, like I mentioned before, a all-around first touch point for businesses to get their questions answered or get directed to the appropriate department or resource in order to get their needs met. So that's it in a nutshell. But yeah, thank you.
So David, is it kind of like maybe like navigating? So I'm a small business and I'm opening up and I need a permit and I don't know who to call. And then I need to, you know, all the different things. So you'll help small businesses navigate through the city government, through the city departments to help get their questions answered?
Absolutely. So for example, we help them navigate, like if a restaurant doesn't know the permitting process, or what is my zoning look like? Can I do business in my home? Can I do it? Do I need a kitchen? Do I need inspection? What does that process look like? So yeah, we direct them to the appropriate departments, Department of Health, all those key services that are needed in order to start a business or maintain a business. So that's what the office is really designed for, to kind of be develop these connections with these departments and resources so we can appropriately divvy up and share that information with our businesses. Because I think there's a lot of confusion too, like, who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do? I did this, but I haven't heard back. And so we operate in kind of that space.
And if I could just add one point there, Shannon,
Yeah.
the position was really added so that David could be that single point of contact, so that David could establish those relationships with planning or with fire or with whoever those individuals were within the city, so that we could take the onus off of the business owner, so that the business owner didn't have to meet with the 5 people or the 3 people or whoever it was. And so that David would develop those relationships and just make that transition much easier for the business owner. And he could take on, you know, calling those 3 or 5 people or whoever it was that they needed to do to make that process a whole lot easier for the business owner, and just eliminate a lot of that, you know, the red tape or whatever it was, and just make it a lot easier for the end user, and just make dealing with the city a pleasant, you know, something pleasant,
Yeah.
and a single point of contact with David. So that was the whole purpose of it.
Well, and you're right, Monica, because the experience of having to navigate 10 departments versus 1 person to help you get through those departments is really big in general. And then you add COVID into the mix, you know. But David, what were some of the questions? What were some of the most asked departments and questions that people have needed connections to? Because I could guess in my head who they might be, but I'm curious to see what you say.
Off the top of my head, I mean, I don't have a spreadsheet in front of me,
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course, just guessing.
yeah, top of the head, I get a lot of questions about fire marshals and zoning,
Oh.
especially the occupancy rate, when restrictions were put in place. Who do I need to talk to get a certificate for my new occupancy? Or especially during COVID and the slowly reopening and different color grading of those reopenings and what they mean. Businesses contact me. What does this mean? Does my business fit this category, and can I reopen my doors? So those are the most recent inquiries I get, but the generalized inquiries I get additionally is business registration. Who do I need to talk to? Nobody's responding. I'm trying to start this business. What does that look like? And just kind of that consulting about what is a sole proprietorship or what's an LLC? And it's just kind of those very, very high level inquiries, because people are really good at what they do, but they don't necessarily know what model fits their business. So additionally, like Monica mentioned, I get a lot of other inquiries, and sometimes we get inquiries for incentives as well. I get bigger companies coming in, they call my office and they're learning about what incentives is Albuquerque offering if we bring in our company. So we make sure to direct those kind of inquiries around. But high level, the 2 I mentioned in the very beginning are kind of the inquiries I've been experiencing a lot lately.
Yeah, I was guessing probably planning or fire marshals, so that's good. Just because I know who we work with on a regular basis here, and so I know what kind of questions they have. But thank you so much, David. Just that little bit lets businesses out there know specifically the types of questions that they can call to ask. And I think that's where I was kind of going with what were the popular questions, because I think some people are hesitant to pick up the phone and call, and really it's about, you know, this whole office was created specifically for that, for people to be able to say, hey, you know, let me connect, and how do I do that? Okay, well, here we go. We have David and team to be able to do that. So thank you so much, David. And speaking of businesses that need to connect, one of the things that they need, well, especially right now, we'll talk about COVID in a bit, but especially right now, is jobs. You know, they need to be able to hire, you know, a workforce that is trained, hopefully, and or willing to learn. I mean, sure, there's a lot that goes into it. So, Mark, I'd love to bring you in to this piece of the conversation to talk to us a little bit about JTA, and specifically what are the industries in which you're placing employees, and how does an employer, you know, move forward with this inquiry to get more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So JTA is the most exciting program that I deal with, and it is really across industries. It's available, we should say. So really, if you're just a small business in Albuquerque, you can sign up. But we do have certain skill focuses that we have. I'll kind of highlight some of our most popular programs. So the most popular one we have at the moment is a digital marketing certificate program. So obviously, you know, COVID, everyone's online. There's been huge demand for digital marketing, and CNMI runs that training program for us. Other ones we have that are popular are project management, supervisor academy. You know, if I'm going to be a supervisor, what skills do I need to know? How to, you know, manage my staff and motivate them. We also have Adobe Photoshop, which is also key right now for doing digital marketing. We have a CDL license. So if you're looking for a commercial driver for your business, you can get your CDL funded through JTA. So I would say we have a vast array of training programs actually, and many focus in the tech space as well. We fund a lot of IT boot camps. So if you're looking to get your staff trained on the most recent tech, they can sign up for deep dive coding through JTA. And what I would say is, this is going to be really critical right now. As I said, if you're an Albuquerque business that's been here for a year, or you're a startup and the sole proprietor has been here for a year, you can bring on staff and have them go through JTA to skill up. So right now, if we're going to be rehiring through COVID and you are hiring someone on who doesn't necessarily have all the skills that they need, we really encourage you to find a JTA program that could fit for them. Whether it's, we also have accounting. So if you're looking to bring on someone with more accounting or finance skills, we offer that. And the application process is very simple. I can put this in the chat afterwards, but it's jobtrainingabq.org. And there's an application portal, and you just fill out a short form. The CNMI staff will review it, reach out to you, make sure you fill the basic qualifications. And then really there you get funding to sign up. So it's a very simple process, and we're really encouraging all small Albuquerque businesses to apply.
So, wow, Mark, I could not write fast enough. I mean, we're talking a supervisor academy, digital marketing, Adobe Photoshop, CDLs. I mean, delivery right now is huge, and IT boot camp. There is so much that is happening inside of your office. And I think that the biggest one, only because it's something that I know we could use and we do use, is the Skill Up program. And that's so important for bringing people in, especially if you're a business that's like, wow, I'd love to have a technology manager or somebody to do this, but I can't pay them, $100,000 a year, but I'd like to hire a young mind that has ambition and wants to move up. And so they can call you, they can get involved with the JTA program and get those skills to get them to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. And that's the beauty of these programs. Now, I'm not sure all the small business owners out there caught this, but they actually get a piece of the dollars to help fund the employees' pay, correct? Or how does that work?
So the training courses are free, and sometimes these will be thousands of dollars in value. So maybe on average, the courses would cost maybe around $2,000, and that would be at no cost to the employer then. So we do request that the employer pays, if it's on time, that the employer pays the salary of the worker to take the training course, or if it's after hours, to pay the salary after hours. So it is a paid training opportunity. So that's the soft cost involved, but there's no hard cost involved in terms of the training. And it can be, for especially those IT boot camps, thousands of dollars in terms of value. So it's a great deal at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm going to definitely reach out to you, Mark, to get that. I want to make sure that we have all of that listed for our members and, as well as everybody on the panel, but that we put something together that's specific to that. Right now, so many businesses suffered during COVID and they're like, I need to hire, but I'm concerned, I'm scared, or I need to train somebody. So I think this would be a really great way. Thank you so much for that information. Monica, I want to jump over to you. We have a question that's come in because this is probably more along the lines of specifically to what you're doing. How do we measure ourselves against, say, other like-sized cities for best practices? And what do we learn from our sister cities, if you will, when it comes to small business?
Sure. We're constantly looking at other cities for not only great ideas, but comparing ourselves to, what are they doing? What can we do better? Programs that, we can look to for, other ideas. And I really think that we are moving the needle here. During COVID, our department not only participated in, PPE procurement and distribution, the Community Impact Fund, the Small Business Economic Relief Grant, and we had a very short time frame and we did it all simultaneously. So those were all ways in which we helped to support our small business community. And the PPE procurement, we tried to do the majority of that locally. So that also supported our community through the purchasing and the distribution. You know, and our department did all of that with such a small team. And then now through recovery, you know, we're focused on recovery. We are looking to put together a plan, but we've already started. You know, we're creating the ABQ Home for Life. I know that some of you have heard of this and some of you haven't. So I'm just gonna try and explain this real quick. You know, even before the pandemic, people and companies, you know, they're leaving larger metro areas for favorable mid-sized cities, which Albuquerque is. You know, COVID has accelerated that trend. Albuquerque stands out as one of the best places to be during COVID and after. You know, we launched a campaign to attract remote workers to Albuquerque. And we're also looking at boomerangers, you know, people who lived here, moved away, and maybe are thinking now it's time to come back. You know, they have their family here, they have their roots here, and maybe they can work from home. So ABQ Home for Life positions Albuquerque as a healthy, mid-sized alternative to larger cities. We have a comprehensive marketing campaign that's promoting Albuquerque as an ideal location for people who are looking for a more healthy, you know, relaxed lifestyle, which we obviously offer. We are promoting, again, remote workers and people who can do their jobs from anywhere. And we're starting to tell the story of Albuquerque. And we think that by telling the story of Albuquerque, we're showing off our business, we're showing off our culture, we're all of our attractions. And through doing this, we're going to promote our road to recovery. So, and again, we started doing this because we were looking at other cities, and other cities had started going down this road. And we're, of course, making our own spin on it. But, you know, we look at others, we look at other successes, and we think, how can we make this our own? And we start down that road. And, you know, we're very hopeful that this will be something that Albuquerque can shine on. So.
Well, Monica, we have a very, very unique culture in Albuquerque. And so on top of all of the great things you say about our city, there's also just the cultural aspect that really makes people feel welcome and at home. It's rare that people leave and say, gosh, I wasn't welcome with open arms. I can't wait to get back.
No.
All the time with our convention and tourism department. Everybody's so thankful for the hospitality that we offer. And of course, the beauty of our city, the uniqueness of our city, with, you know, the fact that you can ski in the morning and be at the lake in the afternoon, all within a few hours apart. It makes us very unique.
We have so many wonderful attributes. I'm a boomeranger myself. I know Mark is. Gabby, I think, came back. So, you know, there's a handful of us here, and I know there's quite a few in the whole administration. And, you know, there's a lot to say about Albuquerque. There are a lot of wonderful attributes: culture, food. My commute in LA was an hour and a half each way. My commute now is 7 minutes. So there are a lot of very positive things about this city, and a lot of things that we can show off to many people, and a lot of easy things that we can use to attract those from other communities. So.
Well, so much to be said for a short distance, right? And that's what Albuquerque does. You can get anywhere in the city in 15 minutes from the center of the city. It's fantastic. So big fan. I love this Duke City of ours. And speaking of, Gabriella, you are with us with the MBDA office with the city of Albuquerque, in partnership with the city of Albuquerque as well. And we want to know specifics. We want to know more. You know, one of the big goals of the chamber has always been in procurement, you know, and the voices to be heard from locals that maybe don't know about procurement or take advantage. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of what you do.
Sure. And just to say, I am not a boomerang, but I'm a transplant. I also was living in California for 8 years, came to Albuquerque thinking I was going to come for 1 year. It's been 8 years, so it's hard to leave. Many great opportunities. But yeah, so the Minority Business Development Agency here, it's a business center really supporting mid-sized companies. So that's revenues of $500,000 and above, and that are minority owned. And We serve, really as an advocate to the business, helping with access to contracts, which is what Shannon was just mentioning about procurement, and I'll come back to it in a minute, talking about supporting businesses with access to capital. So I get a lot of emails from either a business that are clients already, or just, businesses in the community that say, I'm trying to buy this business. How do I go about financing? Or I just need 15,000 to purchase equipment. What is the best lender that can help me go through that process quickly, right? Or I am trying to expand to Texas. Can you help me with that process? And luckily, the MBDA is part of a national network of 36 MBDAs across the country, plus some specialty centers, and we're really able to support businesses with that process. And then, of course, many workshops that we're doing in collaboration with our partners. So I'll just share a little bit of that now, if that's okay. So one of our partners is West, which is actually hosting a workshop right now on getting your first federal contract, for example, which is what, Shannon was asking. So it's an hour-and-a-half workshop, and we're having at least once a month a workshop related to contracting. So one about federal contracts. The following month will be about self-certification. So with women-owned, HubZone, 8A, and through helping businesses go through that process. And then the following month will be about getting state contracts and just contracts as a whole. So that's kind of like the cycle that we're going through with West. And there's actually another workshop also happening on Thursday of understanding opportunities and bids. So I'm happy to share all this information. Is all on our website as well. Our other great partner is Arrowhead at NMSU. And actually on April 30th, we're having a one-day super sprint accelerator for businesses of all sizes. So this is not just for mid-sized businesses of $500,000 and above, but really focusing on businesses that are minority owned. And it's going to be from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. And it's really helping businesses think about contracting opportunities, thinking about funding, digital marketing, really thinking about this recovery period as we're coming out of COVID. So I would highly encourage all businesses to sign up. It's just going to be really great information. So again, that's on April 30th. And then our third amazing partner is the Hispano Chamber. So not only do we have our offices there, Ernie, woo! Not only do we have our offices there, but we've also had the support in offering amazing procurement series. So the first cohort started in January, over 6 weeks, for 2 hours every week. And it was just amazing information for business owners to really connect with different large organizations, cities, states, also different anchor institutions, UNM, Presbyterian, thinking about how do they work through their capability statement, really making sure that they're ready to go, connecting with insurance companies. And then culminating that was the procurement summit that happened mid-March, which was so fabulous to see so many businesses sharing their story of how they've had contracting and has really helped uplift their business and get to the next level, and many other contracting officers also present to continue that collaboration. And then the second cohort of the procurement series is happening June 1st. And I'm sure Shannon has more information, but the registration is open and we are encouraging all businesses to sign up so that they are ready. And that one's going to be on Tuesday afternoons. So a lot of what we do is helping businesses think about contracting, right? It might be with the city of Albuquerque, which we would be working then closely with David at Small Business Office. I was just going to do initials, but it's better to just say the words, Small Business Office, and helping them with the capability statement. Or it just might be that they don't know, an individual at Presbyterian that can really help them think about, okay, these are the products that we want to purchase. So we do a lot of connecting and going through the websites, and then also sending opportunities. For example, 2 weeks ago, I got a call from a contracting organization in Colorado who wants to connect with minority-owned businesses to be subcontractors. So thankfully, we have a huge list of minority-owned businesses, because that's everyone we work with, who might be able to support this company as they're doing a project here in Albuquerque. So then we're making that connection and making sure that businesses are ready to work with them. So hopefully that was information, maybe a lot, but I'll share also the link with the websites. That way people can sign up and take advantage of these opportunities.
Well, thank you, Gabriella. It is a lot of information, but it's important information. And that's the key here, is to help businesses realize that there is help for them out there. There is guidance, there is resources. It's just getting them to know where to go to reach out, getting them to know to call you and David and Mark to ask those questions. And I kind of want to bring Ernie into the conversation here. You know, one of the things that has been a passion of mine and here at the Chamber for the past years is procurement. And I think that sometimes businesses don't understand the word. They don't understand what it means, and then you say government, and they're done. They're like, no, I can't do it. Not understanding that, yeah, maybe in the beginning, the registration, the different things you have to do, but once you get the process down, and also procurement is not just federal government. There's cities, there's counties, there's local municipalities. You know, there's even anchor institutions that are looking to buy your services and products. So I kind of wanted to bring Ernie in to talk a little bit about the importance of procurement and what it does for an economy. And then, you know, of course, we want to promote businesses getting into our free seminar, our free cohort coming up in June. So Ernie, please.
Well, you know what? I look at today as a teaser of everything everybody's doing. I mean, so people that are viewing this either live or going to watch it later on, all this is just a little teaser for you to get a hold of all these people here, because there are so many opportunities that people don't realize if they just took the initiative to contact anybody here. So yeah, thanks, Shannon, about procurement. You know, how many times have we heard at the Chamber that somebody learned a little bit about procurement? They're scared. It's a pretty long word, procurement. And then you're dealing with federal government, state government, city, and the Sandia and AFRL and Kirtland. Guess what? Those are target-rich environments, unbelievable environments. And guess what else? Somebody's doing it. Somebody's doing it, not necessarily here in New Mexico or Albuquerque. So this is a real opportunity for people to really understand procurement and really take the initiative to do something that in a few years could be very valuable to you and your company and your family. We have heard so many times about, even a couple of years ago, I guess it's Rebellis, they came in a couple of years ago to a meeting we had at the Chamber, and we were talking procurement, and this gentleman, I don't think he really knew all that much about procurement, and he's formed this company, and he's already won several very nice, I don't want to say how much, but very nice awards, because they team with other organizations.
We can say millions.
Go ahead, millions. So they team with other companies to produce what's needed. And so they really learn the system. It's not easy, it's not for everybody, but people that really want to be successful with this, if they take the initiative, they can. So regarding our procurement series, recently we had one, and there are people that are mature business people that have been around for a long time that learned amazingly what they needed to know to do better in procurement. I mean, we had so many testimonials after that procurement series about how this was very helpful to them and how it's going to help them scale. So I urge each and every one of you to think about doing this June 1st, to sign up for our procurement series. See what it's about. See if it has an interest to you. You may not have a company right now, but you may want to form one, or you may know somebody who wants to form one. So I really think we are, as citizens of Albuquerque and New Mexico, we're leaving money on the table. Somebody else is getting it. It's time for us to do it.
Well, that is and I see everybody shaking their heads. Yes, it's important. You know, when we help build our local business owners, they keep the dollars in the city, they keep the dollars local. There's so many opportunities when it comes to federal dollars and state and city dollars. And some of that stuff goes to out of state and out of city. And so it's our job to teach those business owners how to bid, how to register, and the importance of when they receive that contract, how to keep it and maintain it. And I think everybody on this panel has a little piece of that, but definitely Gabriella's office can walk you through all those steps. I encourage you to reach out, because if she can't help you, she's going to direct you to who can. And it's just a big part of what we do here in our city, in our state. You know, Ernie said just the other day, you know, we have the two of the biggest labs in the country. We have 3 Air Force bases in the state. We have so much happening, and all of that's happening here in Albuquerque. So we just encourage you guys to take a second, take a deep breath and go, who do I need to contact and how do I get involved? Because I would like some of those dollars for my business. And I think that that's just something we're real passionate about. So I want to kind of just turn the conversation over to COVID a little bit, because, you know, we've all learned something. Whatever that may be, but we've all learned, and these departments and these offices have had to pivot very, very quickly to move to what needs to be done. So I know, Monica, you kind of talked a little bit about the Forever Home or Home for Life program, which I know is probably a direct result of COVID. What are some of the other, you know, how did COVID immediately affect the department, and what are some of the initiatives that you went into immediately, like PPE or what have you?
So I can take that one. Yeah, we went directly into PPE. I mean, we had 2 ordinances that started at the beginning and middle of June. And we did purchase those locally. The majority of that was purchased locally. And we had several partners, including the Hispano Chamber, that we partnered with to distribute those to local businesses. And we still have PPE available. So if there are businesses out there who need PPE, we have boxes ready and available. And we did recently change the agreement. So businesses who have received PPE in the past can now receive additional PPE. So it's no longer capped at 1 box, because time has passed and we still have some PPE available. So if you are in need of PPE, please feel free to reach out to us and we can provide you with some additional boxes. So I think that that would be helpful for businesses to know. We also did have the Community Impact Fund. And on the Community Impact Fund, we provided people with assistance of $2,000. It was $2.5 million worth of grant assistance to those who were not previously eligible for assistance. And then, of course, we had $10 million worth of small business assistance, and all of that was in the last quarter of the year. So we did push out a tremendous amount, and it was amazing to see, you know, this small team work through all of those grants to get that out to the small business community. So we're very thankful to have such an amazing team, a team that's so accessible to the community. Despite the public health order, you know, people were still out there doing things safely, of course, but, you know, getting businesses their checks, getting people what they needed to get in order to assist them. You know, it was an amazing lift from the team, and we are so appreciative of everybody who just really stepped up to help our community in such a time of need.
Well, you know, Monica, you make a really great point that, you know, we continued to stay open for small businesses, whether it was virtual or Zoom or the phone. I mean, it wasn't always in person, of course, but we've been able to assist in that. And it's so great to know that the city has stayed completely open for small businesses, and those phones have continued to ring, and they continue to do so even today. So again, encouraging the small businesses to reach out to you and the different offices within the department to be able to help grow. Mark, I want to ask you pretty much the same questions. You know, nobody was prepared for what happened last March, and immediately everybody had to go into action. So what was something that you did immediately to take care of the clients that you had? And was there anything that you learned that you'll continue to do moving forward?
I will say I joined in October for the city, so I wasn't here last March. So I came during the pandemic, but I'll say, you know,
Wow.
with JTA, everything did transition to online. So, I mean, all these courses, you don't have to go in person. They're being offered online through CNMI. So our partners have done a great job through that to not, you know, disrupt the training capabilities for small businesses. So if you were worried that you might have to do an in-person training, no, it's all online at the moment. And we're even bringing on new partners such as West, also doing online training this summer. Power Tools for your business. So I would say that, and you know, as it develops, we'll see how the trainings, you know, change over time. But I imagine we'll always have an online component to it, which is great to, reach a lot of different businesses.
Yes, well, that's huge, and I think that if we've learned anything, we've learned how to communicate remotely and virtually. But it will be nice to get back to a few in-person things. I'm hoping that we get there sooner than later, so we're definitely excited about that. David, same question. Now, you guys had just opened the office, had been open for a few months when COVID came through, and so talk a little bit about the transition of the small business office, and have you learned anything that you're going to continue to do today?
Well, let me tell you, I learned a lot. The office was open a few months prior to me coming in, but I came in, I believe, March 16th, and lockdown orders, I believe, are March 18th. So,
oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was, I remember you came right then, but wow, because I remember the conversation.
yeah, it was quite an exciting adventure. I'm just going to leave it, and then that's how I describe it. But one thing I would love to highlight, when you asked earlier about how Albuquerque measures to sister cities, and Monica gave a great response, but I think also when COVID happened and lockdown orders came down through the ranks, we jumped into action. Our team crafted a grant program within weeks, and we were able to get it off the ground and get those funding out fairly quickly. And so after that program happened, we actually received a lot of inquiries from our sister cities and a lot of national inquiries from other states who wanted to figure out how did we do it. So I think that was really important to highlight. We, talking about how we relate to sister cities, I believe we kind of paved a little bit of a golden path for ourselves, and people look to us for some answers. So I'm very proud of that. I'm really proud of the department for that. But additionally, as far as COVID goes, I mean, every day is an adventure. Every day is something new, it seems like. And what I really enjoy is kind of the flexibility of our office and our community, and how we're all in New Mexico in general. I just enjoy the kind of community we have, and trying to help each other and trying to communicate our needs. And it's been incredible. Just like our partners over at Hispano, all our partners, we're all in this together. And I've thoroughly enjoyed kind of the experience, even though it's not the most ideal experience. It's been quite an experience to learn about our community and our businesses and what we're doing to survive. Now I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for that, David. And it seems like, because I'm about to ask Gabriella the same question, I know she also came during this time. So Monica, kudos to the Economic Development Department for not just hiring during a pandemic, but training and also bringing in key players inside the small business resources here in our community that have had to adapt and get used to this interesting world we've been in for the last year. Same question, Gabby, because I know that we don't get to see you every day yet, and I know that you are still working remotely, but let's talk a little bit about what happened with the pandemic, and then now what have you learned that you're going to continue to do moving forward with MBDA?
Sure. Yeah, so similarly to many offices, our office opened December 2020, so the pandemic was way underway at that point. But I think one of the beauties of it is that we were remote, obviously, from the beginning, and we were hiring. So it's myself and 2 business advisors. Everyone's remote, and we have all the capabilities of meeting, of course, on Zoom, on the phone. And I think actually has given us more access to, when we're offering, for example, workshops, we're not just limited to driving distances, right? Someone that could come only from maybe 15, 20, 30 miles. We are really expanding all of our workshops to everyone in the state and beyond. So that's definitely something that we want to continue as things start reopening, making sure that there's the capabilities of having business owners in Farmington and Las Cruces and Gala being able to join and not being limited by distance. So that's a little bit about us. We are obviously having everything remote like all the other organizations.
So, we've also learned that same lesson. There's a way to do a hybrid. There's a time for in-person, a time for virtual. And so I think that's what everybody learned during this pandemic. But again, just kudos to economic development for realizing the need and the necessity for what was happening during COVID, but at the same time, bringing in a great team. I get to work with you, most of you throughout the months, every month. And so it's pretty exciting to be able to have this team. So again, thank you so much, Monica and team, for that. I do want to say, as we start to kind of wind down the hour, you know, this department has so much to be proud of, so much to say to the community, and so much to offer, I think. And so, Monica, if you had to sum it up in our closing statement here, economic development, when it comes to the business resources that we have, share with the public a little bit of information and how they can reach out to you with more questions on that.
Sure. Well, again, I want to say, like, despite COVID, despite everything that's happening, I feel like our team continues to be innovative. We continue to add to the team, whether it's MBDA, workforce, you know, trying to go after grants, trying to be just truly innovative. We have small businesses of all sizes really in our mind. So we are continuing to just put ourselves out there. We are continuing to be accessible to the community. So we are happy to help in any way. You can reach any of us at any time. Our phones don't stop at 5. We don't quit. So they don't stop at 5. They never stop at 5. So we're happy to help our community in any way. We truly are accessible and we are here to help. So please feel free to reach out if there's any way that we can help. So we truly are here, and this is our year for recovery. So if there's a way that we can help, we are here to help. So feel free to reach out. And I know that Sarah is popping up all of our information or providing the information for you guys to pop up. So I think Sarah has that.
We'll get it and we'll make sure Angelique posts it. You know, Monica, this year our theme is reset, recover, rebound. Ernie likes to say rebound forward because we have to move forward and we have to recover. I think that's important. I also like the fact that you said, you know, we don't close at 5, and that's not a bad thing. What that means is that, you know, economic development and our community is a 24/7 project, a 24/7 you know, labor of love, and we are here to support. Sometimes it's just a response, let us get back with you tomorrow, but the point is reach out. We will make sure that we do the connections for you. Mark, same question. How do we get a hold of you? And or what's the best method in which to get a hold of you? And what would you like to say in closing?
Sure. Best way is email. So I can put that in the chat, or you can send it out if that's easiest.
Sure.
Tough last name, but mzintek@cabq.gov. I'll put that in the chat after. And I'll say in closing, you know, we really want to help Albuquerque small businesses rehire and retrain. So please take advantage of Job Train Albuquerque, jobtrainabq.org to find that resource. And we really just hope that we can help Albuquerque's, you know, unemployed workers get rehired and help small businesses get prepared for the new normal afterward.
And that's the most important, Mark, is get Albuquerque rehired. We will be having a hiring a community day coming up. We hope in partnership with the city. We'll stay tuned for that. But the goal is to take, you know, so many employers right now that are hiring by the multitudes and make sure that they have the right folks to choose from inside their industry, inside of workforce development. So reach out to JTA, everybody that's listening. Just hear what they have to say. It's a free call. Just do the call. Gabriella, same question. How would you like to close us up for today? And take it away.
Of course, yeah. The best would be actually to go to our website, just because that will have a lot of information about our upcoming events and who do we serve and all of our partners. But of course, feel free to give us a call. I'm happy to share that on the chat, but it's also on our website, which I'll just share now, which is cabqmbdacenter.com. And we are just so grateful to be operating the Minority Business Development Agency in support of so many great organizations in the state of New Mexico that we know that we're able to support minority-owned businesses into this recovery in this 2021. So thank you to the Hispano Chamber, West, City of Albuquerque, Arrowhead, and we are looking forward to working with as many minority-owned businesses as possible.
Thank you, Gabby. David, same question. How would you like to close this up? How do we get a hold of you? And any last words?
Absolutely. So we're here to serve you, the small business office. If you have an idea, if you're an entrepreneur, even if you just want to develop a contact and you just want to catch up and get some coffee, please reach out. You can find our information at the City of Albuquerque Economic Development website. We also have an inquiry form there you can fill out and submit and fill your information. We'll reach out to you. If you want to reach out to the office directly, you can reach out with 505-768-3730. Before I almost gave my personal cell phone.
It's okay. It's already all over, David. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, my big fib. But yeah, please reach out. I'm happy to connect. You can also reach us at our email at smallbusinessoffice@cabq.gov. So yeah, thank you so much to Hispano for putting this on. And thank you for everybody that's attending.
Thank you, David. Ernie, same question. Help us close out. What are some final words?
Well, my final words is if you think about what people's perception is, sometimes if you're a business person, you think that sometimes it's the red tape, that the government, it's the red tape. I can't get through this permit. I can't do this. If people were to listen to what we heard today, you all are here to help. We are all here to help small business. And I think if people take it upon themselves to, instead of saying, oh, I can't get this thing done, no, pick up the phone or get on the website. And you'll find somebody there at the City of Albuquerque or here at the Hispano Chamber or at the MBDA that is willing to help. The last thing I want to say is get on the website of Choose One. There are many opportunities to volunteer or job opportunities. And just take a look at some of those videos. We were very instrumental in working with the city on this project. So please get on the Choose One website as well. And I knew you were probably going to say that as well, Shannon, but I beat you to the punch.
Well, actually, I was going to say it. And the reason I was going to say it was because we hope that you all will join us on Wednesday. We were actually going to have the mayor on, who will be talking with Ernie and a couple of others from his department about the Choose One campaign. And so Ernie set it up, and I'm just going to close with it. We're very excited to share that with you. And then also some of the initiatives inside of the mayor's office, as well as, the boards and the different ways to get involved in the city through the many various boards that happen within the city, where your small business can contribute, your voice can contribute. So Wednesday is going to be a great webinar. We hope you join us at noon. I want to reiterate to everybody out there that is watching, this is your small business resource team here in Albuquerque for the City of Albuquerque. Please reach out to Monica or Mark or David or Gabriella, and if they don't have the answer, they will direct you. Call us and we'll get you connected to them. The point is, make the call. Ask, tell us what the need is, ask what you need, and we will connect you. We want everybody to recover. We want business to go back to business as usual as much as possible. And we cannot wait for the day that all these doors are reopened and we get to see everybody's faces again in person. You guys have a fantastic week, a fabulous Monday afternoon, and we will see you on Wednesday to hear from the mayor himself. Everybody have a great day and a great week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.